everyone, thank you so much for tuning into this video and this channel specifically. And please do yourself a favor, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, click the subscribe button down below, also the notification bell, so that you get notified each time I post a video. The universe will pay you for that. And if you're returning, obviously, thank you so much for returning and stopping by. Well, this video is basically for certain people, but it's information, so it's quite going to be relevant to everyone. It depends when you're watching this video. Okay, let me just give you guys a short office tour, maybe to give these relevant people an idea of what office to expect. Let's just get right into the office, guys. Get into me, and then we get on to content concerning JICS. Well, with me, my dress code will always be this bib, this name tag, always, and the mask now that we are living under this pandemic. So I have let me come closer. I have this name tag that I show every gate for me until I enter into maybe cells, sections, hospital, anywhere, anywhere within, inside of the prison or of the correctional center. Sorry about that door bang. And then I also have this bib that it has a JICS emblem. It has my ID for identification purposes. This is basically how it looks like, and at the back it's written Judicial Inspectorate for Correctional Services. Okay, let me take my seat. Yes, let's get right into it. What is JICS and what does it do? Firstly, JICS was known as Office of the Inspecting Judge, and now it is called JICS, which is an abbreviation of Judicial Inspectorate for Correctional Services. Basically, JICS is more of, as you know, SAPS, SAPS and IPID. So there's DCS and JICS also. Mostly people would say, what's the difference between DCS and JICS and what's not? There's a huge difference. Our roles are different, and what this department, what they are mandated to do, are totally different. Let me just explain or read something very short for you guys that is actually going to outline what I just said. Judicial Inspectorate for Correctional Services is an organization of the South African government. Those mandated it is to uphold and protect the rights of all inmates who are incarcerated. JICS is responsible for the independent oversight of the Department of Correctional Services and must therefore report thereon to the Minister of Justice and Correctional Services and the Portfolio Committee, which is the Parliament. You see? So we report to, after I'm inspecting DCS, as I'm here, I'm inspecting DCS. By inspection means I'm gonna go into every cell, under every bed, and in each and every cupboard they have. Everywhere we only inspect and investigate, you do almost everything. Go to the kitchens, go to the bathrooms, the whole entire correctional center. I inspect it and report over that. But most importantly, I do private consultations with the inmates and group consultations, investigations. I consult. I do record of consultations after every interview I had with the inmate. The purpose is to take complaints and requests that inmate might be having. I'm gonna also tell you what kind of complaints and requests they might be having, or that they should be giving them to me, so that we as the organization will tackle them and assist them. Remember, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm just gonna insert a picture of what I'm looking at right now. But it's two A4 pages that I printed on the website of Sonke Gender Justice, where it says, why should we care about prisoners or inmates. I'm just gonna take a photo afterwards and then insert it somewhere here. Yeah, so we need to know the vision, the mission, our objectives, the organization's objective, and the principle and values that we are led by. And then, most importantly, as you are watching this video, I am honestly doing this video to assist everyone who has maintained to secure an interview. By the way, congratulations, you are having this interview in no time from now. So I am here to help you prepare for your interview. I'm going to tell you shortly what is it that you need to know, and I'm going to give you few examples of the questions that I still remember from my interviews that I've had with JICS. And mind you, let me just give you a brief history of myself. I started applying to JICS from 2017. From 2017, I remember I was applying in KZN. I couldn't even get an interview in KZN. It was, I don't know why, but I just never got any call from KZN JICS. And then I relocated to Pretoria specifically, and then I applied. Fortunately, they gave me a response when I was already in Johannesburg, hence I'm working in Johannesburg Correctional Centre. And here I'm servicing 2 centers. That means I have 2 offices. This is my first office in female center, and the opposite center is maximum for males only, which is medium C. Yeah, so let me now tell you what is it that as an ICCV, because you apply to be an ICCV, okay, maybe you might have applied for a better position, because I think it's from level 5 to level 13 or 14 or 15, something like that. But okay, let me just give an ICCV perspective and overview of what an ICCV is and what does it do. Okay, the vision of JICS is to uphold human dignity of inmate, obviously, because we work with inmates, not officials. Please always bear that in mind. And that we're going to do that through independent, proactive, and responsive oversight. Please remember that for your interview. And JICS mission is to impartially inspect. That means you're going to inspect the prison, the entire prison, hospitals, hospital cells, I mean everywhere, kitchen, everywhere. And each time you visit a unit or a section, there is a journal you need to sign there and write what you went there to do. Put the date, I came for investigation, for inspection, for oversight, and then you sign. Always make sure you sign with a red pen. Anywhere you go in prison, you sign what time you went there, what did you do, what time you left, and sign. From the entry level, you'll know all of this when you go to maybe your training for an ICCV and whatnot. Like I've said, I'm only making this video for ICCV position. By the way, ICCV is an abbreviation just like JICS. So ICCV stands for Independent Correctional Center Visitors. Yeah. Okay. And objective, quite a number, to provide effective independence. And okay, this is JICS objectives for ICCV, so it's quite not really what you might even be asked on the interview. What else can I give you from this pamphlet? Okay, key service offered. What is really as an ICCV we are going to do in a correctional center? I really need to read this out for you because you are not going to get this pamphlet anywhere before you get a job, so I'm plugging you. Firstly, an ICCV shall deal with complaints of inmates by, and request also by, conducting regular visits, interviewing inmates in private, recording complaints in an official diary. Like I've said, you'll know what an official diary is. We have all G360s, G365s and journal and all those things. You'll get to know all that only if you got the job, obviously. And then discuss complaints with the head of the centers. Those are the only people you talk to, and this actually what? It doesn't sit well with other officials because they kind of feel intimidated by us, because it's like we make them to work even if they don't want to and what's not. But then anyways, that's okay. That we only come to do our jobs. So yeah. And then ICCV must be granted access to any part of the correctional center and to any docket or document or records. Because at times you'll want to go to hospital, maybe you have a complaint or request about medical and whatnot, medical reasons, and you want to confirm, get evidence from the file, and you know, even in public hospital, even outside prison, you can't just get hold of a patient's medical documents. Even myself, when I was giving birth, the nurse found me reading my I don't know what, my card, my file, something like that, and she was like, "You're not allowed to." I'm like, "But I mean, this is me and I was just giving birth. What do you mean I can't read this?" She's like, "You are not a medical what, you're going to misinterpret things that are written there and what's not." So I was like, "Okay, ma," and I closed the file. Another thing you should know is, lastly, what JICS obligates itself to our customers, our clients, family and what's not. We are saying we promote a customer satisfaction, whether you talk to me or you call the region, which is in Centurion, or the head office in Cape Town, and we count on you also to be contagious towards our staff and treat them with respect and dignity. I love that part, because inmates and other officials can really, but it's fine, let's not go there. This is just reviewing JICS, giving more information on JICS and on the interview part. So I've done JICS, and you've got to clear what JICS is, what does it do, and where does it report. We've got that. Now let's come to the interview part. That's my favorite part, because like I've said, I've been applying from 2017 and couldn't make it through to any interview at that time until I decided to relocate, like I've said. But I think most importantly is finally I came to Joburg and I'm here. It's all that matters. Hey, yeah. So you are also having an interview in a week, 3 days, in whatever start time from today as you are watching this video. I want to say this from you, as experienced as I am with working at JICS. Now I'm about to give bad reviews. There's a lot of work. It's not really bad, because on the interview you'll be like, "Oh, I can work under pressure. I am very good in time management and what's not." There's, like you've seen, the papers. There's a lot of work, and it's really quite not enough for the month. But you're expected to have completed almost everything towards month end. There's a monthly report, there's weekly reports, and you'll get random emails, calls saying, "Since you're in the center, can you go and consult with so and so?" And you have to leave whatever that you're doing and go see those inmates or whatever and attend. "Can you go and inspect maybe this unit or this section? Can you go and insult with this inmate? Can you go and get this from the agency's office and email it back to us?" Blah 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 blah. And they always have deadlines. Mind you, you have your work to do, and then you get these emails that you've got to do this, you've got to do this, and that's okay, because they're PMDs, remember? So you've got to do everything to cover yourself up for the PMDs. Another thing, what I've experienced personally, they don't really pay it on time sometimes. For instance, what am I referring to is, let's say the month ends on 31st or 30, but that day will be on weekend. Normally, if 31st or 30 is on Friday, you should get paid on Friday, but nope, you get paid on Monday. Yes, even if it's not a matter of weekends, even if like 30 is on Wednesday, we are not going to get paid on Wednesday. We are going to get paid on the 1st, which will be Thursday. But on the contract or employment, what that you're going to sign, if you get the job, again, we'll tell you that you'll always get paid on the last day of the month or before that and what's not. But just be aware. At least I'm telling you, no one told me. Just be aware. And I'm not going to talk about salary. Obviously, the salary is there on the post advertisement. Even before you applied, you saw the salary. You did divide that by 12 months and see how much per month, depending again on the rank that you are applying for, which is level 5, level 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 15 or whatever. Yeah. And then let's get to the interview questions. I have a few that I still remember. The first one, obviously, in any interview, the question will be, tell us about yourself. That's a very easy but difficult to answer question. But in a nutshell, you can just tell, my name is Pamela. My surname is Zondo, originally from Durban. I'm 20 years old. And I've completed BA in Correctional Studies with University of Zululand, completed in this year, completed my LLB with UNISA or with VIDS or with Stellenbosch this year, on that year. And I've 15 years, 25 years of working with the community, the public, and I've got to say I've also had an experience of working online and what's not, so I'm more advanced with technology, and you must be well familiar with Batubelo principles. I think there are 8. You must know all of them and know how to apply them here at work. Openness, redress, I think there are 8. Just know them. If the following question, or they might ask you, maybe, can you please state and explain about 4, 3, 2 Batubelo principles that you think are relevant to this post? Please know the Batubelo principles and know how to relate them work relatedly. And there are more of questions of scenario type questions, like tell us about any time where you were giving a community member or someone, a client, a response and that person was not happy with the response. How did you handle that? Now that speaks to openness, transparency, going back to Batubelo principles now. Okay? And then another scenario I remember will be, if you're not granted access in the correctional center, you work there. Just like myself, I entered all these gates I entered even before I reached my office. I was not granted access. The question would be, what would you do? And I still remember my answer for this question. I said, I will ask the official, what are the bases, what are the reasons I'm not granted access to the center. And then from there, I'll contact my supervisor before I leave the center that I'm having this situation, where to from here. And I think I made it. I made it. Okay, another question I remember, if you were on your way to work or already at work and you just arrived and you get a message, maybe your mom or your parent, your anyone, family, close person is not feeling well and you need to assist them, what would you do? Now in this question, it is very difficult. They still ask it a lot. It's mainly they want to tell you that your life, you is important than work. Remember, if I die today, they're going to advertise my post to get someone. Remember how high the unemployment rate is, so everyone is ever ready to jump on any position that is available. So they advertise today and I die today, tomorrow they get someone. So the aim of this question is for you to know and to make you to understand that your life is important than work. You respect work, but your life is important. So I think my response was, I'll have to, everything that you do with JICS, you let your supervisor know as urgent as possible as you can. Even if you get the job, you will see if there's death in the center, if there's riot in the center, if there's anything happening in the center. Actually, an ICCV is the eyes and ears of the inspecting judge, because everything we are doing, who reports to these portfolios, parliament portfolios, these ministers and all this DCS, it's our judge, which is currently Cameroon, Judge Cameroon. Yes, so we are all doing this compiling report every month for him to report to these people he's mandated to report to. So you as ICCV, like myself, we are the eyes and ears of the judge. Always remember that, always. So don't feel like, oh, maybe I'm not supposed to know about this. No, you should know about almost everything that is in the center and that is happening in your center. Like I've said, I'm inspecting 2 centers, and it has never happened in the history of JICS. I don't know why I was given that opportunity to service 2 centers, because wow, I'm not complaining. I love my job so much and I'm doing my level best, and it is too much work for me. It is, that's the sad part, but then we learn. Lastly, every interview they will ask you this question: do you have any question for us? You have got to ask something, no matter how silly you think or dumb your question is. Ask. You have got to ask. Maybe you can ask about, if this post that is being advertised, was there someone maybe, or it's just new post that you guys are having, because I would like to know if there was someone before me, maybe who recently left, what were the reasons, so that I can try to mold myself in between that, if it's anything to learn from. Or you can ask, what can you ask, especially with JICS? Do we get annual reports, so that we know the centers and all the and everything in regards to JICS? You know, you should really ask anything work relatedly though. Please make sure you ask something. Just ask, you know, just ask something. That takes us to the very end of this video. If you have any question that you'd like to ask about Judicial Inspectorate for Correctional Services, or you'd like to add on something, because I'm doing this video because when I looked on every blogs for reviews for JICS, even here on YouTube, I couldn't find not even one video or anything related to that. Interview tips, what is JICS, what does it do, what does it report to, and on all what I just gave you guys, I couldn't find anything. So I honestly had to go to their offices, ask for their annual reports and all that together, anything to prepare myself for my interview. Well, when you've got me, and I just plugged you with minimal as it is, but it's going to take you somewhere. Thank you so much for watching again, and please do not, if you haven't, because some of you, I know someone hasn't subscribed, please do not forget to subscribe and like the video. You can comment just to appreciate this content, and please do share it with others, because it might not be relevant to you, but it can be relevant for someone else. From me, it's a goodbye.